This video is on descriptive statistics. We're going to look at the 5-number summary. The 5-number summary actually splits our data that we have into 4 equal parts. So we're going to look at some data, which are heart rates. We want to have our data in increasing order, so in numerical order, so 48, 56, 64, 64, 68, 70, 72, 72, 80, and 92. This is going in increasing order, so we can actually, the reason we need to do this is so that we have all of our data, we can find the median and we can find the middle parts. There are 5 numbers that we're going to find, which we're going to call the minimum, or the Q0. We're going to find the lower quartile, which is called the Q1, which is also the 25th percentile. We're going to find the median of the entire data, which we will also call the Q2, which is represented by the 50th percentile. We'll then find the upper quartile, which we'll call the Q3, which represents the 75th percentile. And lastly, we'll find our maximum, which you might call it as Q4, which this represents the 100th percentile. Now, when we are finding these values, it's generally easy to find the minimum and the maximum because it is the lowest and the highest value. So the minimum would be the smallest value. In this case, would be the 48. The maximum will obviously be the highest value, which in this case will be the 92. Now, the median is the exact middle of the entire data. The Q1, or the lower quartile, is the median of the lower quartile. And the upper quartile is the median of the upper quartile. So we need to find the median of the entire data first. To do that, we want to make sure we have the same amount of numbers on each side or find the exact middle. So I'm going to do a little crossing out. I have a number here and on the right, on the left and on the right, left, right, left, right, left, right. I have the same amount of numbers, so I actually have to go in the exact middle of here, so I need to find the mean of these two numbers. So my median will actually be from here. So in order to do this, I need to find, since it didn't hit an exact middle point, my median will be the mean between these two numbers. So I'll have to do 68 plus 70 and divide that by 2. So 68 plus 70, just to do the math, and then I'll divide this by 2. I get 69. So the median is 69. Now, because my median was not an exact number that was from the data, when I find my lower quartile, I focus on to the left of that line and all the way to the end. I want to use all these values to find my lower quartile, and I'll do the same thing on the right-hand side to find my upper quartile. This is my upper quartile. So my lower quartile, my Q1, is the median of this lower half. So I want to find the exact middle of the lower half, which I have 1, 2, or 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. And I have the exact middle of 64. Therefore, the Q1 is going to be 64. because it is the exact middle of the lower half of the data. I'll do the exact same thing on the right-hand side. I will find I have one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, and then I have the exact middle of 72. That exact middle of 72 gives me my Q3, the 75th percentile, which is the exact middle of the upper half of the data. So my 5-number summary is 48, 64, 69, 72, and 92. What this does is that it tells us the data that we need so that we have our minimum and our maximum, so we can find our range. Then it tells us our Q3 and Q1, so we can find our interquartile range. And then we'll also be able to determine if we have any outliers in our data. So as a note, if the fold is between two data points, so the median is between two data points, we have to find the mean of the two values, which is what I did here. I found the mean of these two values since my median was directly in between those two. So it's going to be 68 plus 70, and I have to divide by 2 because I add up the two numbers that I have, and I divide by how many I did. So I divided it by 2. So when this happens, we never actually include the actual median. So don't include the median when finding the quartiles. So if you notice, I went to the left of this pink line to find my lower quartile, and I went to the right of the pink line to find my upper quartile. Even if I had found an exact value point for my median, I still would have done to the left of the median and to the right of the median. I will not use my median to find my upper and my lower quartiles.